I guess I should have never made that video on marriages and relationships, but my For You page has just been back and forth of people claiming that they want a P31 or that they want I think it's a Corinthians 5 man or all kind of stuff, right? And the part that kind of throws me is everybody's saying they want these things because they want to be served. But as a believer, it is our call to serve others. Meaning, even if you go back to my other video about what Paul said in terms of if you can't control yourself sexually, you need to be married. All in all, it still comes back to the fact that you should serve the person you with. Meaning like, hey, as a husband, I should serve my wife, making sure that I'm serving her in the regard of ministering to her, speaking into her, keeping her on the path of reading and knowledge, making sure I'm aligned with God so I can tell her the things that God has called us to do. And then as a wife, especially if you look at what Adam and Eve had, where Eve was made as a helpmeet, that means that Eve was supposed to help and serve Adam and ultimately serve God by helping Adam complete the mission God gave Adam, right? Like at the end of the day, when you look at the beginning, Adam was told to tend to the garden, keep it up, be fruitful and multiply. It is Eve's charge to help Adam meet that goal. It is Adam's charge to complete that goal as God has assigned it to him. And it's the same thing that we should see in our marriages. But a lot of times we see people become selfish and feel as if they should be served without having to serve. And then we put these special circumstances on our lives and say, oh, I'm feeling this or I'm feeling that. And that helps us dictate whether or not we accomplish said goal. Now, granted, mistakes are going to be made and people are going to fall slack. But at the end of the day, your goal in your mind should always be to serve your spouse in all aspects. Am I serving this person? And that doesn't mean, men, that you can't sprinkle good things within your servitude, right? Just because you're supposed to love your wife as Christ loved the church, and Christ didn't necessarily give the church what it wanted all the time, it gave it what it needed, doesn't mean you can't sprinkle good things within that. Because the Bible also says that if men being evil know how to give good gifts, how much more does God know how to give good gifts, right? So ultimately, there is a level of I need to give my wife everything that she needs from a spiritual standpoint, physical standpoint, in terms of provision to make sure she has what she needs. And then lastly, I need to make sure that some of the things that she asks for, if it's in my power and it's not outside the will of God to give, I should be willing to give. Same thing for your wife. As she serves you through helping you meet the goals that God has for you, she should be willing to serve you and give you the things that you need from her, as well as some of the things that you want from her. That should be a mutually beneficial relationship. And a lot of times we have these people who, like I said, they want to be served, but they don't want to serve. And then your marriage falls apart. You see all the women complaining about their men not doing X, Y, and Z. And there are a lot of weak men out there who just refuse to do anything in regards to leadership and submission to God and servitude to their wife and servitude to their family. Just like there are a lot of disrespectful women who go out here and refuse to do anything in terms of submission to their husband and submission to God through serving their husband, all of those things. So both of those things are true. But the only reason that you see these marriages falling apart is because America has told us, and the modern society has told us, that we are important and that we should be served. And even as regular Christians who aren't married, we're supposed to serve others. The greatest among the kingdom are those who are willing to lower themselves to serve the most. That's why Jesus washed his disciples' feet. That's why Jesus consistently told his people, hey, as much as you want to be elevated, lower yourself and humble yourself so then you can be elevated. Those who are the lowest will be exalted, and those who are exalted will be the lowest, because your reward in heaven is not based on your reward on earth. Meaning the people who put themselves in these big positions with titles and expectations and all these different things are not going to be rewarded in heaven. But those who are actually literally serving without any recognition, literally serving because they know that that's how they show their love to God and that's how they show their devotion to his example, those are the ones that are going to be exalted. So make sure as you go through your relationships, as you go through your marriages, that you're serving your spouse, that you're serving your husband, you're serving your wife, giving not only the things that are necessary, but some of the good things that the person wants as well. Because what winds up happening is you fall off and then you feel as if you should be taken care of, and then you don't do those things, and now you have a problem.